right. Looks like we're live on Twitch, live on YouTube. Hopefully we're live on TikTok. I'm going to check my TikTok account here real fast. See if we are live there. Yep. See if we are live on TikTok as well. Yep. Man, I've been trying to set up all the streaming stuff for a while, and I think I finally got it all trying to set up all the streaming stuff for a while. I'm not going to hold my breath. I think I finally got it all figured out. But all the streaming stuff for a while. I'm not going to hold my breath. I had a super busy one. I finally got it all figured out. But all the streaming stuff for a while. I'm not going to hold my breath. I had a super busy one. I finally got it all trying to set up all the streaming stuff for a while. I'm not going to hold my breath. I had a super busy one. I finally got it all trying to set up all the streaming stuff for a while. I'm not going to hold my breath. I had a super busy one. I finally got it all trying to set up all the streaming stuff for a while. Thank you so much. I had a super busy one. I finally got it all trying to set up all the streaming stuff for a while. Thank you so much. I had a super busy one. And still checking out. Trying to set up all the streaming stuff for a while. Thank you so much. I had a super busy one. And still checking out. Trying to set up all the streaming stuff for a while. Thank you so much. I had a super busy one. And still checking out. Bear with me while I stream stuff for a while. Thank you so much. I had a super busy one. And still checking out. Bear with me while I stream stuff for a while. Thank you so much. I had a super busy one. And still checking out. Bear with me while I stream stuff for a while. Chat with you and any questions or checking out. Bear with me while I stream chat with you and any questions or checking out. Bear with me while I stream chat with you and any questions or teach you. Checking out. Bear with me while I stream chat with you and any questions or teach you. Checking out. Bear with me while I stream chat with you and any questions or teach you. Checking out. Bear with me while I stream chat with you and teach you. Sorry guys, I'm trying to figure out how to utilize the streaming software. Sorry guys, this is weird. Is that better? Do we get it? Okay, sweet. Thank you guys. Awesome. Okay, cool. So I think I had an audio setting on the TikTok live stuff that was screwing it up. So thank you guys. I appreciate it. Now our numbers are coming back up. It looks like people were joining and then running away when it was so bad, but I can't hear that on my end. So I appreciate you guys. This is like all brand new. Usually when I'm doing my lives, I'm out at the barn. So I'm just staring at my phone, and then I'm chatting with you guys, as I'm working. But this is a little bit new, so thanks for bearing with me. But anyway, I was hopping in here just because I wanted to talk to you guys about my ebook and talk to you about some stretching things, and as always, just answer any questions that you guys have as far as any issues that you're dealing with your horses or anything like that. So, always pop in your questions. That way I don't have to just randomly chat about whatever is on my mind. I'd rather talk about what's on your mind as far as the horse world goes. And I like to talk about different modalities, different things that you can try to fix your horses. If it's just chiropractic, we can talk about that. Any of that stuff is good. Thank you for the share, guys. One big, beautiful woman, babe. Love the screen name, but thank you for sharing that as well. And I'm still trying to figure this out. I mean, usually when I'm live with the horses, I'll have 200 to 400 people in the live, but right now it looks like we've got 8. So not only am I not used to the software, but I'm not used to the low numbers. But hopefully we'll figure that out and get everything up as we go. But yeah, I had 8 horses today. It was all over Phoenix. Traffic is a nightmare because everybody's moving here. So we have lots of construction because they're expanding the roads and the freeways, and it is just an absolute nightmare. But I don't mind. I don't mind driving around. I'd rather be driving around working on horses than being in my old chiropractic office. So I can't complain too much. Yeah, that's true. Everybody's probably heading home from work. That's a good point. Unless they're on the East Coast or the Midwest, then they should already be home. But 6 o'clock is usually the best time to post content. So I figured, well, maybe it's a good time to go hop on here and go live as well. But with the numbers being so low, I will probably just end this one and give it a shot in another hour or so. And oh, Steve posted a question. Thank you. Steve, I did not see your question, but I'm going to try to scroll up and find it. Let me see. Let's see. Thoughts on physio pads? I mean, I think they're beneficial. I don't necessarily know if they're beneficial for what they're being sold for. There's a thing called proprioception, which is the ability of your body to determine where its parts are in space. And a good example of that is, when you see somebody doing a field sobriety. Oh, excuse me. You see somebody doing a field sobriety test, and they got their head back and eyes closed and they can touch their nose at their fingertip. That's because their proprioception, their ability to determine where their parts are in space, is working really well, right? They know exactly where their finger is, they know where their nose is. But when they're inebriated, that system falls apart, so they can't do it. When you're dealing with the physio pads, what they're doing is they're balancing on those pads, and while they're balancing, and because they're balancing and they're firing all these muscles, these small muscles that control the movement of the joints of the lower legs and the upper legs, when those muscles fire and they're changing the shape of the joint capsules, every time the muscles fire, it's sending information to the brain. Every time the joint capsule is stretched, it's sending information to the brain. And what you're doing by using the physio pads is you're sending just a ton of proprioceptive information to the brain. And the more information the brain gets, the more it can determine where its parts are, and the better it can place the feet when the horse is moving. So I think it's a really good thing neurologically. There's a lot of stuff that they're doing for rehab for that. If they tear a muscle or they injure a ligament, or they're having some lameness problems, or they had surgery and they're doing rehab, I think the physio pads are great. For a healthy horse, I don't really know if there's a huge benefit for them, to be honest, but I definitely see a neurologic benefit. But from a performance standpoint, I really don't know. I really don't know if it's that beneficial. Like makes noise when running, trying to get air. Oh, let's see. Hopefully that answers your question. Do you have any other follow-up questions on that, Steve? Hey, welcome, Shane Marie from Indiana. Thank you for hopping in. We got a whopping 10 people in on the live. I'll probably do this again in a couple hours after people have a chance to get home and get settled. I have a fam with a racehorse with an issue in the throat. Can't race till surgery. Any knowledge? No, that's more of a veterinary thing. And I don't ever delve into veterinary issues because as a chiropractor, that can get me in trouble. So anything like that, that has to be referred back to the veterinarian. So, yeah, sorry about that. If it was more structural, oh, shoot, I'm missing some chats over here. If it was something that was more structural in nature or movement related, I could definitely help you with that. I'm looking on my YouTube chat right now as well, and it says that they were seeing an echo. Hopefully the sound is still good. Yeah, absolutely. Sorry I can't help you more with that, Bartman, but thanks for the question. Yeah, absolutely, Steve. My pleasure. Looks like I got a new moderator coming in here, BBW. Love it. Thank you. Okay, perfect. Thank you. I appreciate it. So we got the ebook sitting there. Right now, if you go to my website, sporthorsechiropractic.com, at the top of the page, there's a button that you can click to get the guide, and it's normally $37. It's on a special for $17 if you go through that link, or you can just sign up with your name and email, and then I'm sorry, I'm just screwing that up. The guide is free, right? It's not $17, but the ebook is on discount from $37 to $17. So if you go to my website, you can see it on the screen there, and just put your name and email in there. Then you'll get an email with the guide attached, and then in the guide is a coupon for the the equine stretching ebook. Is there a benefit in what you do for racehorses? Oh yeah, 100%. In fact, I was flown over to Dubai in February to work on a whole bunch of endurance and racehorses, and they had this little 3-year-old filly who started in 10th, and she had run a couple races before and didn't do very well. But they knew that she had a lot of potential, and she was the main horse that I was brought over to work on. And they were basically going to sell her if she didn't do well in this race. So I came out. I worked on about 80 horses or so there, but she was the main one, and she didn't start off very well out of the gate. But we saw her about halfway through, and she was starting to catch up on the outside. And she was like hauling ass on the outside, and she was making this big move, and she came around the last turn, and we were up in the grandstands, like trainers and owners were screaming, and she comes around and it ends up being a photo finish, and she actually won the race. And I have a picture of myself on my social media holding up the trophy, because they were like, that horse wouldn't have won it or done anything like that had you not worked on her. So they had me go up onto the excuse me, long day. They had me go up on the podium and hold the trophy up, and it was one of the best moments of my life. I'm in Abu Dhabi, and the grandstands are just, there is no horse racing facility in the world that I've seen, even Churchill Downs, that has a grandstand like they had in Abu Dhabi. So got to hold up the trophy in front of thousands of people. It was just insane. So yes, long answer to a question was yes, it's extremely beneficial, extremely. And really it's with any performance horse, because the big issue that you deal with with performance horses is you don't know if you're getting the best out of your horse. You only know that you're getting the best that you're used to getting, right? If your horses aren't worked on and you think what the best is for that horse is what you've already seen without him being adjusted, you might be missing out on just that little bit more that you can get out of that horse that would make the huge difference. I mean, like with barrel racing, you're talking about, tenths and hundredths of a second. And I've seen plenty of horses improve their time by a second after they get adjusted. I mean, I wouldn't believe it if I didn't see it myself. So for me, my suggestion is if you have performance horses, just try it once, get them adjusted and see how they do. And if it works, you're going to notice it during the first competition after. It doesn't take weeks to months to show up. It's immediate. So I would just recommend to try it out and see if you notice the differences. Sorry guys, I was up at 5 this morning and had a long day, so sorry for the yawns. I'm not bored, I promise. I love chatting with you guys. No, all 80 horses weren't owned by the same group. They were, I would say about maybe 30 of the horses were owned by that same owner / trainer, and the rest were just referred to me when I got over there. Hey, Christine, thank you so much. I appreciate it. Try to be the best man for the job. It's really important to me to do a really thorough job on the horses because, not a whole lot of people use chiropractors for their animals yet. It's becoming more popular, but, I just want to do a thorough job so everybody can see it. If somebody wins or does really well and, everybody else wants to know what that person is doing. And if that happens to be chiropractic, then it's really great for the profession. So, it's really important that you're thorough, you do a good job, and, you help the horse as much as you can. I need to come to Northern Ireland. Oh, my gosh. Oh, Christine, I think we talked. Didn't we already talk about me coming to Northern Ireland? I think we did. And I'd still love to come if that was you. I'm supposed to go to Canada in September, and I'm going to Hawaii I might be going to both in September, actually. I was supposed to go to Hawaii in August, but that might not work. But definitely going to Canada in September, and probably Hawaii in September too. But I love to travel and work on horses. That's like my dream, to go over to Europe and just work all over the countries over there and see as many cool places as I can. Oh, thanks. Thank you, BBW. I appreciate it. Yeah, I mean, the other thing, too, is, horses by nature are always in that fight or flight, what we call a sympathetic state. So sympathetics, is part of the autonomic nervous system, which is part of the nervous system that controls your automatic involuntary functions of the body, right? So digestion, perspiration, heart rate, that type of stuff. Reproduction, all of that. And the autonomics are divided into two parts. Rest and digest, which is your parasympathetics, and fight or flight, which is your sympathetics. And horses by nature are in their sympathetics, which is because they're prey animals, right? So they're always being concerned about being safe, not being killed and eaten and all that stuff. So because they're always in that state, in that sympathetic state of fight or flight, is the reason why we have this is my opinion, but take it for what it's worth. It's why we have so many issues with horses and digestive problems, right? Like you have so many horses that colic, they get twisted bowels, all kinds of stuff in their bowels. And I think part of that is because they're neurotic, anxious, flighty horses, flighty animals. And so whenever you can get a horse out of that fight or flight state, out of that sympathetic state, and into the rest and digest parasympathetic state, where they're resting and digesting, you have a much happier, much healthier horse with a lot fewer medical conditions because of that. So, through chiropractic, through stretching, through massage, through magnet wave, all of these different modalities, which chiropractic isn't a modality, but you know what I mean, you can help your horse be able to downregulate its nervous system and get into a place of rest and digest where that healing occurs, and where they're better able to digest their food, they're better able to sleep, and all of those things are super, super beneficial for your horses. So, even if you don't get a performance boost out of it, you can definitely get an improvement in health for sure. Yeah, it is really rewarding. Oh, that's awesome. Thank you, Barman. I appreciate it. Yeah, I was considering going out to Ohio in September for the there's a Eastern Nationals paint show out there. So if he's interested, I'd be happy to stop by his place while I'm out there for sure. I'm not 100% set on going yet, but it's definitely something that I'm considering. Oh, that's awesome, Christine. Yeah, any chance that we get for people to help us get their horses nice and calm and relaxed is fantastic. Obviously I can't not inject, but I can't sedate, right? And it's very, very rare that I would ever sedate anyway. I would only sedate a horse if if it was a super dangerous situation, but then even if I was going to, I have to have a vet out there to do it because I'm not a veterinarian. Yeah, it's in Columbus. I think it's in Columbus. It's at the WEC, which I'm pretty sure that's in Columbus, right? The World Equestrian Center there. If you guys don't mind, just keep tapping that like button. I'd really appreciate that. And to help me get some more people in here, that would be amazing if you wouldn't mind sharing the live as well. But thank you for those of you who have hit the like button so far. Oh, I see the likes starting to really go up there, so thank you so much. Wow, that's a huge breeding farm. Oh my goodness. Hey, horse girl, welcome in. Yeah, we don't have big breeding farms out here in Arizona like that. I think just because it's too dang hot. There's one guy out here, Kevin Wright. He has a pretty big breeding operation in Mesa, Arizona. But I say big for Arizona, but it's definitely nowhere near that. I bet he probably has 100 head on his property or so, but all really, really well-bred cutters. And then he uses the dropouts, at a place next to him for lessons and barrels and stuff like that. Yep, agree with that, Christine, for sure. Hey, Deborah, that's awesome. The horse told you to buy the book? Yeah, the harness racing is actually why I'm going to be going up to Canada. I'm going to be going to Prince Edward Island, and apparently the harness racing up there is huge. So I don't know what the numbers are going to be up there yet, but the guy who reached out said that he would probably have about 40 head for me to adjust. So that's 40 head for me is about 3 days of work at the minimum. So I'm looking forward to that a lot. Yeah, if you guys have horses and you're interested in helping them like Deborah did, you can see my equine stretching ebook right there, stretching exercises for horses. That's available at the link below the book for just $17. It's on sale on my website for $37, but if you get the free guide, there's a code at the back and you can pick it up for just $17. And it's 157 pages. That's just full of information about how to properly stretch your horse safely, how to be effective with it, different ways you can do it depending on your own physical limitations or the physical limitations of your horses. So if you're interested in that, just go to that link and check it out. Awesome. All right, guys, I'm going to put this thing on pause for now, and I'm going to come back on in a little while once everybody gets home from work and they're not busy getting dinner and getting kids to bed and all that stuff. So I'll be back on here in about 45 minutes to an hour or so. So thank you guys for for those of you that hopped in, thank you, Bartman, for the info. And if you want to give your, I think it was your brother, my information, or your friend my information, you know, he can either contact me on my website, sporthorsechiropractic.com, and there's a contact link at the top. Or if he wants to send me, or you want to send me a DM through TikTok, you know, I'll keep a lookout for that as well. So thank you guys so much, and I'll be back on in about an hour or so. So